Calvin, St. Louis. What's happening? I'm leaving.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
I'm good.
Man, I just want to say I woke up this morning so mad, and I'm always looking at all these different sports shows to try to find what they said about the Warriors if they ever talk about them. And then my girl looked it up and found you guys and said I could call them. That's the kind of show I've been looking for. Man, y'all got a new subscriber.
Hey,
thank
and
you.
I want to say,
welcome to the roast,
crazy
Calvin.
that y'all guys and y'all subscribers say the same things that all the fans are listening to, but they don't talk about it on the other shows. Man, I just want to say that first and foremost.
Thank you, Calvin. We appreciate that.
What are your thoughts on the Warriors right now?
Man, let me tell you the obvious since nobody wants to talk about it. Since the beginning of the year, they went from a championship team to somebody who all of a sudden they get a million fouls called on them, and then once they get the fouls called on them, as a team, they real soft-hearted, put their hands down, and they don't commit to play. But what I blame it on, since nobody wants to talk about it, is Steve Kerr. How do y'all make the same adolescent mistakes and don't sit there and correct them? First of all, if you got a big lead, stop jacking up the three-point ball, play some inside ball, play some twos to sit up there and finish the game. Especially if your threes ain't dropping. Second point on Steve Kerr again. He sits there and never, if he would have sit there and started highlighting the fact that a superstar like Steph Curry gets called the least amount of calls in the league. And the reason they do that because they know if they gave Steph and Clay their free throws that they deserve, all the games will usually be out of it. They had a guy like Kuminga last year. Everybody in the world bragging on Kuminga and his development. They never really used that man in the playoff till trash time. Steve Kerr still refuses to do that.
Oh, boy.
Then they refuse to give Mike Brown, oh, my God, the coach of the year credit and talk about that. If this was the Lakers, guys, soon as they lose 1 or 2 games, they're already ready to get rid of every coach, and it's been like that for years. Nobody's really coming after Steve Kerr as a coach because it seems to be that Mike Brown was the true coach. Now, let's get to the next thing.
Calvin, we got to run here. Calvin, give us a call back later in the week. Hell of
Save
a first
some
call.
material for later.
Hell of a first call. I mean, boy, he was on a roll. I said I got 2-3 points, and all of them was about Steve Kerr.
Well, let me ask you about
Steve Kerr does deserve criticism. Great coach. Hasn't done a great job this year.
So
maybe
you can educate me because I'm not aware of what people feel around these guys. Did Popovich get crushed in San Antonio in years where they had maybe high expectations and didn't come through?
I think we all crush him, but right now he's going to have that #1 pick in Victor Wembanyama. And when you win 5 rings in San Antonio, you got carte blanche. It's San Antonio.
What about Phil Jackson?
Lakers?
It felt like whenever there was a little bit of heat, he'd take a year off.
He'd take a year off as sabbatical, and then he'd come back and
But
win a
like
couple.
Laker fans, Spadoni, you're a Laker fan. Was the charged up fan angry at Phil Jackson when they would stumble?
No, it would never be on Phil or Kobe. It would always be on Powell, Bynum, someone else.
Really?
Those guys were untouchable. Lamar Odom, there would be the bench player. Derek Fisher got ran out because they didn't have a true quote-unquote point guard. Everyone else.
Think about Eric Spoelstra, Miami.
Well, Spoelstra's been crushed at times because and also the front office because of like giving Hassan Whiteside a maximum extension and
giving Deion Waiters a lot of money.
Absolutely, and then trading away Goran Dragic. Like there's trading for Lowry. There have been some things. Although he's one of the longest tenured coaches in sports, there have been some things where they've crushed him. But I do feel like he's, especially now, like he's revered.
The one championship coach who gets a lot of heat every single year is Doc Rivers. He's got the 1 ring.
I look at Doc the way I look at Mike McCarthy.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Like I consider you good.
He's had really good teams.
Good, not great. That's what I view him.
And he's done a good job this year with Philly.
I mean, Bruce Bochy at the end, to even try to criticize him felt sacrilegious. Did it not?
It did.
People would run you out of that tent.
And I don't think Bochy did it. I don't think Bochy did a good job in the 2016 postseason. Heck, in some of those World Series years, I thought Bochy.
He was pretty good.
He was good, but in the Philly series against Charlie Manuel, I thought Charlie Manuel was so bad. Because Bochy had a couple decisions here and there. Charlie Manuel won up to him numerous times in terms of bad
Affeldt
decisions.
stay ready in the bullpen was a big thing when Johnny Sanchez and Chase Utley. But I think Dave Roberts, the final couple years, it felt like he had more to play with, and he was out managing Boch. Boch was like a step slow on Yankee guys.
How much blame can we really give Steve Kerr?
Well, that's why I guess that's my question.
Right.
I do think that it's a little different in basketball because rotations, everything happens in more real time and quicker.
Let's be real. There's been a lot of guys in and out the lineup, whether it's injuries.
You're missing your second
personal issues. Exactly. The youngsters, not a lot of patience there. I don't think Steve Kerr's done a great job this year.
I think some criticism, but overall,
he also looks kind of burnt out by everything. Would it shock you? Would it shock you if Steve Kerr walked away after the season? He's got 1 year left on his deal.
No.
I don't think it'll shock anybody.
I think the NBA, too, is just so different than the other sports. Like the NFL, you change your roster over 4. Like, look, the Niners are awesome. How many guys are in and out?
Right.
Like 40% of the roster, right? And that's the NFL because of the unguaranteed contracts. Right. Baseball, there's going to be a bunch of guys on this Giants team that most people have never heard of, right? And that's a lot of teams. Like the Dodgers have a lot of new faces. Like the baseball has a big turnover. Basketball, it's a couple of new guys, but for the most part, it's the same guys. So does that message get more stale more quickly in a power player power league? I think so.
They just came off a championship.
No, I know.
They just came off a championship, so I don't know. There's not a lot of NBA coaches who come back for that last year of the deal as a lame duck coach, right? Without an extension, I know he wants that extension. The Warriors haven't given it to him. Bob Myers wants that extension. They haven't given it to him.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things going on here, which will not surprise me if Steve Kerr said, you know what? We had a great run. It's been here since 2014. A long time. Very long time. Rob and San Bruno, what's happening? You're on the roast.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, Rob?
I remember I called earlier when they started out slow, and I told you guys the league has caught up with them. Like, their style of play is not surprising nobody. You know, teams, coaches, players, they watch 1,000 hours of film on every pass, every call. I just feel like, and in that last call, I had a great point. I'm blaming Kerr, too, because every great championship dynasty have always had a team they had to reconstruct the way they play basketball. I don't personally think Kerr want to reconstruct the way he plays basketball. He want to play one style, and I feel like the league is caught up on that. Plus, you have other teams that have athleticism, they have big, and they have shooting. All the Warriors have is shooting. If they're not shooting well, they're not going to win the game. If they lose a 3-point contest, they're going to lose the game. So I just feel like it's on the GM. I'm putting this on Steph Curry, and I'm putting this on Kerr because, to me, Steph, if you one of the top point guards of all time, when you got a talent like Wiseman, you make something happen with that. And I feel like he didn't do that.
I
think it's over till next year.
Man, in the offseason, the question will be asked, if it's not asked already, how much of it do you put on Steph? Steph's been great when he's on the court. There's starting to be, and it's a question for a later time, but there's starting to be some people out there who are starting to tweet at me and starting to text saying, how good of a leader has Steph been this season? That question's starting to get floated out there. There's a lot of people are blaming Steph for the Wiseman departure. And I don't know if there's any truth to that. I'm not even going to speculate that.
I think his body
of question. Steph,
his body of work kind of speaks for itself.
Exactly.
Doesn't he deserve the respect and the benefit of the doubt?
But the question
if he hasn't earned it, who the hell has?
But it's a fair question, isn't it? We question hard. I know I question hard all the time.
No one's perfect.
CP3.
I mean, think
about Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is an all-time talent.
Absolutely.
He gets played for everything.
Yes.
People come out and crush him and say he's not a great leader.
Yeah, but I do think, forget the leader part. I do think that there is a crossroads here for the team, and Steph can't be relied upon the way that they're relying upon him moving forward because you have to bake in. He's either going to rest or sit out 20 to 25 games a year, right? Now, playoff mode, different. But during the regular season, I do think that they need to adjust how they build the roster, what their offensive principles are, because you can't just run everything around Steph when you know he's not going to be. He's not 28.
Right.
He's 35. right? He's going to miss some time. You have to build that in. You have to bake that into the lasagna of the team next year. That's not me saying that Steph can't do this. He can't do that. I'm just saying take a little off his plate, right? And have him slowly evolve into a different role, not a lesser role, not a less impactful, just some different stuff. And that's where I think when we talk about blueprints or the roadmap to this year, where I think a big mistake was the youngsters weren't ready to take on some of that stuff. And I don't think that they were ready to acquiesce those guys as well. Both are true at the same time.
True. Stacey, Oakland. Stacey, what's happening?
Hi.
Hey,
Thank you for accepting my call.
Anytime.
Thank you. I just wanted to say, and I really wish that the organization would be honest with the fans, but I could also understand maybe they don't want to just put all of their laundry out there. But it's very clear that the problem is the punch and the relationship between Wiggins and Poole. Wiggins does not, he did not respect it. He does not, that action was probably the most horrible thing he could have ever even imagined. And it appears to me he's not going to step on the floor with Draymond. So that just simply means he won't be back to next season, and we already know Draymond is leaving. And I don't know why the Warriors won't be honest.
I don't know about all that. I don't know.
That's a slippery slope there.
It's a lot of.
I think it's a lot of speculation.
We're assuming a lot. That's.
I don't think that's fair.
I'm not there yet. All right, real quick. Let's laugh a little bit. Stanford, no laughing matter. They lose as a number 1 seed to Ole Miss last night at Maples Pavilion in the women's basketball tournament. The top seeds usually get the home games in the first couple rounds. So Stanford thought they were on their way to the Sweet 16, thought they were on their way to another Final Four, which would have been their third straight, thought they were on their way to possibly another national championship. Lose last night to Ole Miss. Ole Miss. And Tara Vanderveer, Hall of Fame coach, one of the greatest coaches here in the Bay Area, probably on the Mount Rushmore, to be honest, what she's done at Stanford.
Definitely the most underrated.
Yeah, no doubt. She doesn't get a lot of love. She deserves a lot of love. 3 national championships, all the All-Americans and Hall of Famers. But she was basically asked how tough this loss was. Let's listen to Tara Vanderveer and her answer.
I'm not going to fall into the trap of saying, wow, we had a horrible season. You know, I know that our men's team would be ecstatic to be playing, 2 games in the NCAA tournament. And Bernard would be happy about that too. This is a very young backcourt.
So Haley Jones, last game, Tara basically said, I know our men's team would have been happy to play 2 tournament games. So what you talking about?
Well, they lost one of the holes to the WNBA. Like, they lost some talent, but the thing is you're a better program than the boys team, the men's team, right? Like
the men's team deserves a shot like that.
Way.
They deserve a shot like that.
Good for her.
You didn't have to take a shot. I love Tara.
In 95-7 a game, 11 years of history. How many times do you think we've played Tara Vanderveer sound?
Not a lot.
Under 10?
We've had her on the air.
No, I know we've
had her on the air multiple times.
A soundbite.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good for her.
I was like, damn. I saw that live. I was like, wow.
I've always thought that she could have coached in the NBA, and I wanted to see her get a chance. I know that time is come and gone. I wanted to see her or Pat Summitt get an opportunity. Obviously, that didn't happen, but I really did. I sincerely thought it would work quite well.
They'll be back. Won titles 90, 92, and 2021. Hall of Famer.
I mean,
she's got over 1,000 wins. She's got 1,186 wins. Her winning percentage, 81.7%.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, it's impressive.
That's incredible.
Gold medals, Team USA. No, she's been awesome. A little shot fired. We got the Casey Schmidt highlight. Somebody get the Casey Schmidt. No, we don't have it. All right.
Here's the highlight. Sick stab. Ooh, look at him coming in, throwing across his body, looking like Nolan Arenado. Wow. Oh, runner on second. Pitch away. Oh, he drives it into right center. Double. Damn. Those are your highlights. That was yesterday recap.
You're going to make me hate the Giants.
Why?
You are.
Can't you be excited?
I'm excited about baseball. You're going to make me hate the Giants.
If you're not already there.
See, that's the problem. People say things, and, Steiny gets a lot of hate. Oh, man, you hate the Warriors. No. Steiny doesn't hate the Warriors. I don't hate the Giants.
I've had the question asked a few times.
Oh, I know you have.
So Logan Webb pitched yesterday.
Doesn't look great.
No, how do I phrase this?
See, I've never seen. Here's the problem. I'm going to stop you right now.
What's that?
We're putting way too much stock into these spring training games.
Dude, it's not about.
But you are.
What do you mean?
Because I could already tell.
No, I'm going off the body of work the last couple years. I really like Logan Webb. To me, not every team has an ace, right? And I think that we have miscast him in the ace role here with the Giants. He is their best pitcher.
But on a great team, he's probably a number 2 or number 3.
Yes. And that doesn't mean I don't want to sign him, and it doesn't mean that I don't think he's a really good player.
He looked like an ace in 2021.
No, he did. But that's not an ace is a guy that you hand the ball to year after year after year. And there's only so many of those guys. Yeah, but I think he's a really, really good player, and he's definitely someone that I'm building around.
He pitched pretty damn good in 2021.
I know.
Took over an ace role. Was the ace last year, had a pretty good year.
And was outstanding in the playoffs.
Yeah, he had a pretty good year last season.
Like, is Urias an ace for the Dodgers? No. He's a great pitcher,
Number 2, number 3.
Yeah, but he's a great...
But he's pitched like an ace.
So has Logan Webb. So is Logan Webb. But, like, when you hand the ball to a Scherzer or a Verlander or an Alcantara, like, it's just different. And I'm not trying to... Like, there's levels to it. You know what I mean? It's like saying someone's a quote-unquote superstar as opposed to just a star in the NBA.
Oh, where's Spinoni at? We got Wiseman Watch. Xfinity Fast 5 coming up in 7 minutes. 7 minutes. Love, man, if you can find a Wiseman Watch open. Wiseman Watch, because Wiseman did something last night. It's going to make one fans ticked off. And we're only going to do this through the end of the year. I promise you we won't do it next season.
Last point on Logan Webb before you move on. It's just... I don't know. It just feels like something's a little off, a little more nibbling this year than last year.
It's spring training.
I'm well aware, but there's an electricity that you see with some guys.
It's spring training,
even in spring training. I know the pitchers are always behind the hitters. I'm well aware.
And the ball travels a lot farther down there in that.
Well, and the weather hasn't been as good.
It's spring training.
How much did we freak out about Tim Lincecum spring training back in the day?
No, I never did.
Yeah, but Lincecum, okay, look.
I can't even.
We did first, we realized, oh no, we don't actually need to freak out about it. But no, I'm agreeing with you though, Bonte, on the pitching.
I'm not freaking out. I'm just saying that.
No, you're freaking out a little bit. I can tell when your jaws are moving the way when you start freaking out. I can tell. I know you too well. You start to turn red a little bit. I can't recall one Lincecum spring training outing. Not one.
Well, he did get lit up in 1 year. I think it was 2011 heading in after the 2010 season. They partied all up.
I mean, come on.